Hello Nigerians, welcome to another exciting episode of The Issues on Voice of the People TV, where we bring you the most important and pressing issues shaping our nation today. I am your host, Jerry Apeliohai. Today on The Issues, we confront a storm of truth, power, and betrayal as Nigerian bids a farewell to former President Muhammadu Buhari. His longtime spokesman, Femi, makes a stunning claim. Buhari could have died much earlier if he relied on Nigerian hospitals. A sobering admission that lays bare the failure of our national healthcare system and the privilege of those who lead us. Meanwhile, the race to 2027 ignites. Peter Obi is drawing a line in the sand, demanding the ADC coalition's presidential ticket be zoned to the south. His call for justice and balance threatens to sideline northern heavyweights like Atiku Abubakar while reigniting a debate on unity, equity, and the true meaning of national fairness. And then, an allegation that strikes at the heart of our democracy. Senator Siraki Dixon accuses defections to the APC of being nothing more than a cover for electoral fraud. He claims politicians are not seeking better governance, they are seeking protection to rig elections, manipulate security agencies, and subvert the will of the people. Stay with us. After this short break, we'll dig deeper into these topics and more. Don't go away. Welcome back. Let's dive straight into today's discussion. Former presidential spokesman Femi Adesina has defended Muhammadu Buhari's consistent use of hospitals in the United Kingdom, stating the former president might have died earlier if he had relied solely on Nigerian healthcare system. Adesina said critics should understand that Buhari had always used UK hospitals even before becoming president. He explained that Buhari's London doctors were familiar with his medical history, which made it unnecessary and risky to switch to new physicians. According to Adesina, changing doctors in his condition would not have been advisable. Adesina also pointed out the inadequacy of many Nigerian hospitals, saying they lacked the necessary equipment and specialist expertise required for treating Buhari's complex health issues. Today I'm delighted to be joined by esteemed guests in the studio. We have Dr. Peter Anosike. Dr. Anosike is a philosopher, development economist, and best-selling author. He is also an erudite commentator on economy, finance, politics, and power. Great to have you join us.
Thank you for having me.
I can see you're smiling, but definitely a lot on your mind. But joining us virtually is Chris Paul Otaigbe, an international correspondent and political affairs analyst. Great to have you join us on The Issues.
Glad to be with you. I hope you can hear me clean and clear.
Yes, loud and clear. Anyway,
Good.
Also joining us from Port Harcourt is Dr. Eric Thomas, a public affairs analyst, consultant, obstetrician, and gynecologist. Great to have you join us on The Issues. All right, it seems like Dr. Eric is out. I would have loved to start with a doctor himself to tell us the situation of the health sector, whether he contradicts Femi Adesina. But let me go to Dr. Anosike, who's rather not in the hospital. He's not in the medical field as a doctor, but a specialized PhD holder, and of course, a doctor at that. But let's look at this. Isn't Femi Adesina, by admitting Nigerian hospitals were too inadequate for Buhari, effectively confessing that the administration he spoke for failed to build a healthcare system even fit for its own leader?
Well, I was laughing because Femi Adesina has been, he was the person that interviewed me in 2002 when Sun newspaper was starting. And he was the first editor of the Sun newspaper. Understand, when I joined Sun. So, and from there until 2014, when he was appointed, 2015, he was the MD. When Buhari appointed him his spokesperson. So Femi outside government is a very nice guy. Understand me? He is a very, very nice guy. That's Femi will want to know you. Get to the house. He wants to know you, know the name of your wife and your children. So that's the kind of a person he is. But there's one evil in government, that the person that you know before, once he enters government, he changes automatically. And that's what I feel that happened to Femi. So the Femi Adesina that I know from 2002 to 2015 wasn't the Femi I know from 2015 to 2023. Understand? So because he began to defend the indefensible. Understand me? An instance, that was the time that Nigeria was having epileptic power supply. Femi said that we shouldn't blame the government. We should blame those vandalizing the pipeline. Understand? That we shouldn't hold government responsible. We should hold those vandalizing all the pipeline. But we did not vote for those vandalizing pipeline. It was government that we voted for.
Yes.
Femi again said that instead of dying, surrender your ancestral land to the herdsmen. That's what Femi said. Instead of being killed by these bandits, surrender your land to them. Imagine that.
Coming from a spokesperson active in the government.
No, somebody who was very, very criticizing government, writing sunny their back pages every Friday. Understand me? Now he changed and now begin to defend what he was against before. So that's why I feel so. Now, how can you defend a president that he would have died earlier if he was making use of hospitals in Nigeria? So those things that you are going abroad to do, why don't you bring them here to the country? Understand me? Why don't you bring those things up? This man, from 1984 to 1985, he was the head of state. Understand? So he understands all the system, and he failed to do something about it. So I read what Chan the boy posted this afternoon. Understand? Say you cannot run anywhere. Since you cannot equip all the hospitals here in Nigeria, if you go to UK, you still die. Understand? So that is, for me, I'm shocked with this position that Mr. Adesina has taken, because there's nothing to justify it. It is a failure on the part of government. There was a time that P2B went to Newi on checkup. Newi General Hospital, P2B, went to Newi on checkup. How many British prime ministers have come to Nigeria for medical anything? So it is shame on him, understand, that Nigeria presidents will be going to other countries for medical checkup. Why none is coming here?
Wow. Let me now go to Dr. Eric, who's now with us. Taking a look at a spokesman who was really active on the Buhari'S government. We know that Buhari spent a lot of time in hospital, starting from looking back at his timeline from 2015 to May 2018. Buhari's until 2023, he was, I think in 2015 to 2018, Muhammad Buhari spent 172 days on medical trips. At least, let's say, before he became president, he was already going to the UK. When he became president, what did he do to salvage the healthcare sector, which is still dilapidated as we speak under an APC government? Is it that our leaders don't take charge of things that matters because they have somewhere to run to when they are sick? Oh, may he so rest in peace. But at least that would have been a legacy he would have taken to his grave, saying, okay, before I left, I created a health sector that could take care of the less privileged ones who could not go to the UK hospital. I'm not even talking about that UK hospital. It's not even for the less privileged in the United Kingdom. You cannot just go to the hospital for treatment if you're in the UK. You need to also be privileged to go to that kind of a hospital. Dr. Eric, can you hear me?
Sorry, at the time I linked up, they were calling me. I had to pick up those important calls. Now I'm back.
Okay.
From Adesina's thing, do you know something about governance? They are always defending themselves because governance, the type we have in Africa, in Nigeria in particular, where people are not responsible. If a leader is doing the right thing, you have less to say. The people will say the rest for you. How will he be arguing that as a medical doctor that I am, you cannot compel a patient to see a particular doctor. The patient has the right to see whichever doctor he wants to. That is not a problem. I don't think Nigerians are not happy with our leaders going to see people that their own doctors abroad. As for that, maybe they prefer the doctor. But the issue is that why don't you build an equivalent facility or equivalent facilities in your country? Of course, the doctors they are going to see when he's talking about competence, it's a slap on my face and the face of my colleagues in this country. There are doctors in Nigeria, in fact, we are one of the best in the world. Listen, the people he's meeting there, who are they? Are they foreigners? I think I saw a clip where a dark lady, I didn't see one white skin there, where they were giving him injection on the in the arm in that same hospital. I didn't see any light white there. It's still Nigerians. And I can tell you, if they create the enabling environment, I'm talking about facilities and all that, remuneration and all that, the best doctors are Nigerians. Put me anywhere. I've traveled, I've seen my colleagues, even my classmates of so many years ago, they are doing wonders. They are there now, even doing pediatrics and bringing out fetuses and then treating and returning them. Nigerians. So what's he talking about? The competence. That's rubbish. I'm sorry to use that word. It is outrageous. It is a fallacy that he has to apologize to Nigerian Medical Association and all the doctors in Nigeria. What are they treating there? When the facilities are there, the doctors will provide. In fact, in our training, they trained us in so much rigorous manner that abroad you work with machines. We first of all know the clinical aspect of everything before we even apply the machines. What's he talking about? Well, I wouldn't bother where you go to treat yourself, but provide the facilities so that those who want to treat in Nigeria will treat themselves in Nigeria. Just like my friend said this. Yeah.
Most of the time, he was always going for a particular ear infection. What's the situation talking about the medical sector in terms of the health sector in terms of ear infection issues and so on and so forth? Because there was a time he would spend 10 days. There was a time he spent 168 days, 172 days abroad just for all of this treatment.
You see, there is aspect of medicine we call the endoscopic aspect. That is the closed surgery, and we have open surgery. Maybe I explain quickly. Closed surgery is where you do endoscopy. That is, you have to see the organ or tissue that you are handling through the optics. The machines, you work there without opening, without putting a knife to open. That's what I mean by closed surgery. Then that's mainly endoscopic. Then we have open surgery, laparoscopy, and all that we do, opening the user. So we have all those facilities in this country. Most private hospitals even have them. I use them myself. So ear, what is there in ear? We have ear surgery. ENT surgeons are all over the place. Ear, nose, and throat, they are all over the place. There are people handling that. We have scopes that we use to find what is there. What is there? It is just this thing. I think one of the things I want to even say that probably I thought Adesina will be using that aspect by saying that probably they are scared of their political opponents. They may lobby away, but I don't think it does happen. If a personality is in the hospital, they have their personal physician, don't they? They do. So you have to know who is there and the things they are giving, if that is their problem. So they have no reason rather than just showing ego and not wanting. They don't care about the people. That is what it means. If you treat yourself and your family, what about some other extended family persons that you have? Because they are selfish. They don't think about that. See, leadership is all about compassion, empathy. Yeah? If a leader does not have empathy, does not have compassion, he cannot work. We have all the money, we have everything. So let them know they have no excuse whatsoever. If he says, I want a particular doctor to be seeing me, fine. That's your doctor there that he goes to. Has another competent doctor that is in Nigeria that can recommend and say, look, see this person. That's all we do. We don't do everything. Sometimes when I travel and I'm not in my clinic, I get doctors to do it, and I get competent doctors that can work like me or near me. And then we even have this e-medicine that we are doing all over the place now. You can ask your colleague, look, I've done this, I've done what is it? What are they trying to do? Why is the man slapping us like that? Why is he treating us as if we are not? Look, if a white man has said it, if Donald Trump has said this, they say it's racism. Why would we go to call what additional? Look, I am going to impress that we know that there are politicians talking us to Robbie, but we'll make certain, at least we'll say something. And remind additional that Nigerian doctors are not people you can just, I'm not saying because I'm a doctor, I'm not saying because I'm a consultant, I'm not saying because I'm a specialist that I am, but you see, there are certain things one should not take. Yes.
Okay.
In fact, I'm living about what the man has said.
Okay.
Very much living about it. How can he run us down because he's playing politics? He was telling us last night, he wrote that his son is became a pilot, and how he entered the plane, the big board, according to him, the big board, with to be inside and other dignitaries as a co-pilot.
Okay, Dr. Eric, let's now go over to Chris Polo-Tagbe there, who is with us.
Just one sentence more.
Okay.
See, let us now say his son is a pilot right now. He trained in South Africa. He mentioned it, and then he's flying plane in Nigeria. Can we say that because his son is? Can we deride his son? Did he not enter the son's plane? Is the son not a black person? You see, people should be very careful the way they talk and do these things.
All right, let me go to Chris Paul Otaibe, who is with us. Taking a look at the situation, you've heard from Dr. Anoske, you've heard from Dr. Eric. How can Adesina justify 8 years of power with billions allocated to health, yet still claim Buhari would have died in a Nigerian hospital? Isn't that a damning indictment of their governance?
Thank you very much, my brother. First of all, let me even appreciate Dr. Eric Obi Thomas. He has just given us a very cheering picture of the medical sector as performed by Nigerians on their own in their own citizen capacity. So that's to tell you from Dr. Eric now, I know there is hope in the health sector in Nigeria, except for the politicians and their political will. Coming back to, what's his name? Femi Adesina. I don't think it's correct. Adesina is a very nice person when you meet him one-on-one. Well, you can say the same for all these people in government. But of course, when they enter government, they become something else. Just trying to corroborate what I think he said. Femi is just being honest, and honest in reverse, honest in a very stupid way. Sorry to use that language. You know, I think Femi devised, you know, when you are in his role at the time, everybody who had been in that role, you know, before they joined, they were just normal good journalists, hardworking journalists, but they get in there, they become something else. That's what became of Femi Adesina. For him to say what he has said, you know, you can almost say that it's being childish, talking like a kid. Because government is there to provide that. That is a basic necessity for the citizenry. If you didn't provide it in your first year, second year, third year, on top of 2 terms of 8 years, plus talking about Buhari now, plus it's first 1 or 2 or 1.5 year as a military head of state, then you have a problem. So, on that score, well, I cannot say that Femi didn't know that this what I just stated is the real case. But Femi, I think, is lost in that character he created for himself as whatever to an unpopular government as Buhari'S. Because they have to create a character, some kind of escape character, whereby, it's your fault, you are the citizen, you are supposed to work for yourself. Government is supposed to support you. That was the character Femi created for himself. So he was all the time pushing the narrative to the citizenry. That's why he would tell you, instead of you allowing the headmen to kill you, you better surrender your land, though. You know, that's to tell you that the mind that he had to create for himself. That's not Femi in his real sense. That was what government made of him. But I don't think I would be that kind of person. I don't think you would be that kind of person. So I'm going to that depth, or this depth, for you to understand that no one really needed to dignify his ranting, as it were, you know, with any such debate. But of course, because of his position, we are compelled to so do. As the man, as the image maker of the president or that administration, a lot rests on him. He was the one to voice out the policy of the government. But he personalized everything. In fact, I don't know. I am really upset with what he said. And of course, I've been upset with him, all those things he used to say those days. But this one is the height of it. He should just have shut up. He should have said no comments. Nobody will hold him on no comments. But he had to say something, and he voiced rubbish. Sorry to use the word, on air. So all I'll just say is this. You know me, I have to go give you a bigger picture. Our health sector can never work. Sorry to break that bad news to you. As long as we are practicing this kind of ideology, or whether it's ideology, I don't know what it is, government or what have you, our health sector, indeed, all our institutions will never work. Bet me, trust me. So Femi is just being distractive in the kind of narrative he's pushing there.
Okay.
Thank God for Dr. Eric that I just debunked all of that. That's the professional. That's the man on the field. That's the man active on the job. That is a representative of the Nigerian health sector just speaking to us now. So we cannot undervalue what he said. So I thank you, Jerry, for bringing him on. I thank you, Dr. Obi Thomas, for stating this thing. I do not understate this thing that you have said. I appreciate it a lot. You guys are working, but the politicians are the ones sabotaging your work. And so the general picture of Nigerian health sector can never work as long as these puppets of the West who have mandated them to wreck all their sectors and institutions so that we can continue to be dependent on the nonsense they have outside Nigeria. I think we need to give you kudos. So, my brother, I think on that note, I'll just rest it there. What Femi has said does not, it should be dismissed a bit and disregarded.
Anyway,
God is not even in power.
Okay, anyway, because the APC is still in power, the thing is that our leaders don't learn? Because even Yaradua, we all know what happened, how he was abroad, because he died, and now Jonathan, before Buhari came into power, was struggling with his health for most of his years. When he left power, he was still in the UK hospital where he eventually died. Admitting the foreign doctors were essential for Buhari's survival, is it additional validating public outrage that this government protected only the ruling class while leaving citizens to fend for themselves?
Well, the thing is that UK has become our undertaker. Understand? UK hospitals have become Nigerian leaders undertaker. Even Ifeanyi Oba also
Yes.
died in UK. So for me, this simply shows that government doesn't care for the masses. They only care about themselves because they have where to go. That's to take care of their health. But I don't know that's the right word to use. If I should say, that I'm happy that they are not getting it right there, because Tinubu has shifted from UK to France.
Okay, maybe the update that UK is no longer the place.
So
France is now the new medical tourism.
So for me, if these people really care what they are seeing abroad, what they are going abroad to do, they should bring it down to Nigeria, because we are not really independent. For you to, for our president to be going to other countries for Medicare, you've not heard that the United States president went to another country.
It's even risky.
Understand me?
Yes, putting the life of the number one citizen in the
So-
hand of another country.
so-
Most countries wouldn't do
So
that.
you cannot claim to be independent while the president of your country is going on a Medicare in another country. So what makes you independent? So for me, these people, a lot of them have their brains scrambled. They have no shame. Understand me? I said Peter Obi went to Nnewi General Hospital for checkup. Nnewi, not even Lagos or Abuja. Understand? Okay, imagine what is his name? Bendo, Yahaya Bendo of Kogi State, who it was celebrated that he had built a world class hospital in Kogi. Now begging the EFCC to give him permission to go to abroad for medical and checkup. What happened to the so-called
World-class hospital?
Understand me? So
Indeed.
you see that these people are bunch of deceivers. It shows that these people are a bunch of deceivers. And Remember, when some people complain to Tinubu that our doctors that are traveling in droves abroad, Tinubu say, let them go, we'll train others. That's exactly what the president said. Let them go. He doesn't know how much it costs that to train one medical doctor.
And he's even planning to send doctors to St. Lucia. Let's not forget that too.
So,
recently.
why Lagos State University, NASU, is calling back their retired medical personnel because of shortage of doctors that's in the country.
Pretty sad. Okay, let's go back to the next argument where the next report, I beg your pardon, where Peter Obi has urged the African Democratic Congress ADC coalition to zone its 2027 presidential ticket to the south, arguing that the region deserves the chance to complete its turn in power. He believes this would foster national unity and cohesion, especially as he has pledged to serve only one term if elected. I will be questioned why another northern candidate should emerge when the South has not completed its full tenure. His comments come just weeks after ADC was adopted as a coalition platform for the 2027 presidential race, and they could significantly affect the ambitions of northern aspirants, especially former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. Obi's position adds to the ongoing debate around zoning and regional equity in Nigerian politics. If the coalition accepts his proposal, it could reshape the race and eliminate several high-profile northern contenders from consideration. Let me now go over to Dr. Eric. Is Peter Obi's call for zoning not a contradiction of his image as a merit-based, reform-driven candidate, or is he now playing the same ethnic politics he once criticized? Dr. Eric, we can't hear you. Please unmute your audio so we can get to hear you. Dr. Eric. All right, while waiting for Dr. Eric to join us so we can hear him, let me take this to Chris Paul Otaigbe. Taking a look at Peter Obi's call for zoning, is this not a contradiction of his image as a merit-based, reform-driven candidate? Or is he now playing the same zoning formula and so on and so forth? These are the things he once criticized.
Look, my brother, I'm laughing here. Because look, I use the expression manipulate. Who is manipulating Obi's mind, for crying out loud? These are the games you will play. These are the processes you will pass through. These are the kind of languages you will be hearing from Peter Obi henceforth. A betrayal of his mandate. I'm sorry, the way Peter Obi is going, it may not end well. Not really for him, but because he's a businessman at the end of the day. He'll go back to his trade, as he says, he's a trader. But the hope, the faith, and the love of Nigerians across borders, across regions, across state lines, across local government, across ethnic groups gave this guy. Tell you, Peter Obi is the biggest politician we've ever had. Politician, when you use the word politician, you are even insulting the persona, the moment this moment gave that man. It's a gift from a nation, a gift from citizens of a nation. So all this thing that he's doing, I warned from the beginning that this will not end well. Because at the end of the day, remove Peter Obi from that coalition. Peter Obi is standing, a coalition is standing. They would not recognize that coalition except Peter Obi. Why does he want to do that to himself and Nigerians? Is that not crazy? I'm angry, not shocked, not surprised, because I know this is the murky road he will pass and he will go to doom. He should just have stood by himself there. That coalition, if he meant well for Nigerians, will come to him and say, we give you the flag bearer. Atiku will come behind you. Even this coalition is not even safe for him. Even if they give him black man as a black flag bearer tomorrow, they can kill him, man. And next one will be there. It's not safe for him. It's just a mess. This guy has plunged himself and the mandate, the organic raw mandate a citizen and a nation gave this guy. If he knows what is good for him, he had better step out now, because he shouldn't step out when they have done the primaries, when they will have bought everybody off him, and then come out and say, no, it's rigged. Nobody will hear him. In fact, he will become the laughing stock. Tinubu will have won. Pushing him to discredit himself. That's all you need to do to that kind of person. Discredit him, and that's the end. You don't have any opponents again. Peter Obi is the only standing opposition to any government, Tinubu or Buhari, anybody. But here we are. The tides are turning in a way that I feared, but that most of you just expected. Anyway, that's it. Thank you.
All right, Chris just brought out this, talking about his ideas from his conspiracy theory bags. And of course, he was one of those who was not happy that Peter Obi joined the coalition. He won, and would I say he foresaw his own saying that Peter Obi, this might be his own doing. But let me go to Dr. Eric before I take it to Dr. Anosike, because I know he's itching to say something, definitely. But let me take Dr. Eric just for 3 minutes. Dr. Eric, how can Obi justify a southern zoning demand when he's also asking the country to back him for just one term? Is this a genuine unity move or a tactical ploy to box out Atiku and northern contenders? All right, we can't hear Dr. Eric there. All right, let me go to Dr. Anosike. It seems like Dr. Anosike is the inevitable next person to speak. But taking a look at the situation, is it that he's worried about Atiku's chances against himself? So he's already making proposals and making comments ahead of any plan to zone the candidature of the ADC to an open forum. He's saying, okay, let's zone it to South. That's the only way I can cut Atiku out of taking the presidential ticket.
Well, for me, Peter Obi is asking for justice. Understand? Okay. Peter Obi is asking for justice. That if power goes to the North in 2027, it means that the South has been shortchanged. Understand? So he wants let justice be done, so that by ADC zoning or the ticket to the South, and possibly to himself. And there's a saying that there will be no peace without justice. So that is on the thing that Peter Obi is saying. And in 2015, one of the main reasons why the North gang up against Goodluck Jonathan was because he wanted to break the North-South zonal arrangement. Understand? Because the idea was that he should complete Omar Musa Yar'Adua's term. Understand me? That's 2000. Understand me? And now hand over. So by 2015, he was already 6 years in office, 2 years completing Jonathan's own. I mean Omar Musa and 4 years his own, which means. By projection, if he wins in that 2015, he would have been in office for 10 years. So that was why they did not say over their dead body. And Tinubu knowing the Phoenix in the north have to allow a northern candidate. Because Tinubu know that if he had come out in 2015, there's no way he would have gotten a northern vote. Because on the north, we are shouting that it is on their turn. Understand me? So P2B is asking for justice. Let this gentleman arrangement remain. Understand? So, which on its own is not bad at all. But my concern is, this is articles last time in politics. Because by 2027, he's going to be 80 years old. Buhari, in all this official, what they present to us, because none of them is using a birth certificate. All they are using is affidavit. And none of them have gone to take to doctor their age over and over. So officially, Buhari died at 82. Understand? But we know that in 1976, no, yes, is it 76? Buhari is older than Babangida. Understand me? In 1976, Buhari was older than Babangida because when Bukasuka Dimka struck and met Babangida at Radio Nigeria, he told Babangida, "You are the youngest member of the Supreme Military Council." That was 1976. Understand me?
Yeah.
That was what Dimka told Babangida, that he was the youngest member. And in 1983, when Joshua Dogonyaro announced the coup that pushed off Shehu Shagari, Babangida said that they looked for the oldest soldier from the north to hand over, and they handed over to Buhari. So I'm giving you two incidences where Buhari was shown to be older than Babangida, but today Babangida is now older than Buhari.
Babangida is older than Buhari
today as we speak. Understand? Because Buhari, Babangida's age is now about 86, 87. Understand? So the issue is this: what P2B is asking for is equity and justice, which has eluded Nigeria since independence. And it will be in the interest of the country if they can allow this justice to reign. And I believe that P2B, as a president, will do better than the others. For one thing, he's going to cut down on the cost of government. And once the cost of government is cut down, Nigeria will be on the path to progress.
Yeah, doesn't this push for Southeast Zone risk deepening regional fault lines in a coalition that's supposed to transcend old political divisions?
No, I've given you the reason why APC zoned their presidential candidate to the north in 2015.
Yes.
Because they said that the South want to change them. Understand me? Because Omar Musa Yar'Adua was supposed to be in power till 2015. So by 2015, power was supposed to be going south, not going north. But because of Omar Musa Yar'Adua's death and Jonathan completing on the tenure and again running, it obstructed the equation.
The equation, yeah.
Understand me? So that's why it was zoned to 2015. That 2015 was zoned to the north. Then, if they can reason this way, ADC should know that they should also zone their presidential candidate to the south. Understand? So that the balance will be completed. or the South will have their own 8 years. And that's on the appeal that P2B was trying to make.
All right.
An appeal for justice and equity.
We're pressed for time, but we already know that Atiku is also in the game. But is he worried about Atiku taking the ticket? That's why he's already raising the alarm that it should be zoned to the South.
You know, I've given you what happened in 2015. Understand? That the North felt that it's their own turn. And
it's still the turn of the South.
But from now to 2031, it should be the turn of the South. That if we are to maintain this gentleman agreement.
Okay, we're pressed for time. I would have loved to hear from Dr. Eric, but time will not permit us to go on and on. I want to say big thanks, Dr. Eric Thomas, for being a part of the show. I must say you've done excellently well, of course, by giving us the healthcare situation of the country and putting a searchlight on what is really happening in that sector. All right, it seems to still. Okay, and of course, Chris Paul Otaiwe, it's been awesome having you on the show with your theories. And we
thank you.
I used to say theories.
To learn I'm not a theorist, maybe conspiracy theorist, maybe. But you need to learn
okay, maybe you're a philosopher as well too, like Dr. Adesina. Yeah,
I'm just stating the reality, my brother.
Okay, stating the reality, definitely looking at the realities on ground, and of course, taking a broader look at it. Dr. Adesina has been awesome having you as well on the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right, as the nation and teeters between revelation and reckoning, the issue stands at the front lines. Where truth isn't just spoken, it's forged in fire. From the grave warnings of a spokesman to the political calculus of zoning to the chilling claims of democracy under threat, Nigeria is on the brink of a defining moment. Join us next time right here on the issues where no power goes unquestioned, no lie goes unchallenged, and the people always drive the agenda. I am Jerry Apeliohan, and this has been the issues on Voice of the People TV, where the future faces forward. Have a good one.